chapter. You guys. Sorry, this has taken a very weird turn. I just need to calm down. Hi. Okay, so we are, I guess by the time you see this, I am officially a debut fantasy author, soon to debut fantasy author. I don't quite know what the term is, but today, hi, I'm Madeline James. Did I say that? Today we are starting to get all my pre-order stuff set up, which, oh my gosh, it is terrifying. I am freaking out a little bit. I'm freaking out. So this morning, just like 20 minutes ago, I clicked the button to submit my book for pre-order on Amazon, just the ebook. We'll get to the print in a minute. There's things going on. But basically I wanted to kind of talk through this and work through this process, both because I'm super overwhelmed and this is really scary. And so I figured it would be helpful for me to vlog it, both to like, I don't know, it's kind of comforting to talk through it and feel like, I don't know, there's a level of like, I don't know, you know what I mean, right? And if other people are going through this, are about to go through this and they're scared, you can be scared with me. But yeah, so that's the plan. It's Friday, what day is it? August 29th. And my plan has been to have my pre-orders set up and like officially announce it and everything early next week, ideally. So we're starting the process now, and I'm not going to get too much into like, this isn't going to be like a publishing guide or anything, because like I'm not an expert. I have followed the Sarah Cannon's Publish and Thrive course, so I took that. And so the KDP setup process was pretty simple. Like I've had my blurb set up. I have all that ready. I've done my categories and keywords research. I have, what is it called? Publisher Rocket, I think is what it is, to do like genre research. I've done some of that. I need to do more, but like I got all that set up. I set my prices for ebook, got all that ready to go. I hit submit. And so it's going to take up to 72 hours to go live. But getting a book set up for pre-order and doing all the things that you need to do around setting up a pre-order, or at least what I'm going to do, is a lot more complicated than that. So I have like this little like chart of like all the things I need to do. So I want to share that with you. Just so that you kind of know where we're starting and then we can work through all of this together. But like I'm setting up my pre-order kind of early, like my book's coming out in 7 months, thereabouts. So like I wanted time to be able to do all of this and not be stressed, and then like get all the pre-order stuff set up, keep working on book stuff, have lots of time, and then, you know, have a lot of prep time to figure out what I want to do for like pre-order incentives and arcs, and like I have time for all of that, and the cover reveal, right? All of that is later. So what I have right now, the two most important starting things are set up the KDP ebook pre-order, which I have done. And the second thing is set up the print pre-order, which I know some people don't even do. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But doing that through Ingram Sparks is where I'm going to do it, because I believe KDP only lets you set up a print pre-order like 90 days in advance. And I do like, once the book comes out, I am going to do Amazon print distribution for Amazon, because you get a better royalty rate if you do it through Amazon, and then everything else will be Ingram. So my plan is to set up my pre-order everywhere through Ingram, including Amazon, and then once I hit the once the book releases, I will take Ingram off Amazon, or like maybe like a week before. I don't know how that works, but take it off Amazon and then set up Amazon paperback pre-order. So there'll be a couple of days of wiggle room that I'll probably need to do like right beforehand. I don't know how that's gonna work. That's a problem for later, but that's the plan. The problem is I set up my Ingram account this morning. I had already done my KDP account, but when I did that, I hadn't decided for sure if I was gonna do a print pre-order this far in advance, but then I'm like, yes, I want to. But it won't let me add a title on Ingram, so I can't actually set up a print pre-order. I've Googled it and I've submitted like a support ticket. I've posted in the Publish and Thrive community asking for help. But I have seen on the internet that some people, like, it takes them like 5 to 7 days to get their account approved to add a title, and sometimes they have to like send additional information and go through and do all of that. So I'm kind of, oh wait, I have a comment from someone. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully I can get it figured out. If it ends up being a big problem, maybe like I'll just say the pre-orders will be out later and right now it's only ebook. I don't know what percentage of people are going to do ebook versus what will want paperback. I don't know. But we're gonna just do what we can there, but we should in theory have the ebook pre-order in 72 hours or less, right? So by the beginning of next week we should be able to go. Now, the pre-order, right, will lead to then pre-orders being live. And then I could, immediately start talking about it, but there's a series of things that I need to do first before I announce that the pre-orders are live. So first is I need to claim my author page on Amazon just so that it's all there. You can follow the author nice and tidy, right? I want to set up universal links. So I need the actual pre-order page to be up to be able to then set up universal links so that people can basically click on my book and it'll show whichever country they're in. It'll take them to the right page on the right Amazon account. I know which site I want to use for that. I don't remember what it is. It's my notes somewhere, but I'll look that up. And then once that's done and I have the link to pre-order my book, there's a bunch of little places I want to set it up. So my YouTube description, I want to be you can buy my book here, right? My book is up for pre-order, which will be fancy. I might want to add some information about it in my ending video thing at the end of the video. My outro, right? That shows my little temporary book cover and it's up for pre-order now. Link in the description, right? Something like that. So I would need to do that. I also need to update my website, which I've already started to do a website overhaul. Just to rebrand it to kind of go with the book, right? Because I have my own channel branding, but being an author is the most important thing on my website. You know what I mean? So I have rebranded it like that. And I've started to set up the about the book page, but obviously it doesn't have any of the pre-order links in it. So I want to update all of that. And also it doesn't look good on mobile right now. It looks cute on desktop. I'll show it to you later. But on mobile, it's it moves all the elements really weird. So I need to rework it all to look nice on mobile too. So there's that, right? And then I also want to send out a newsletter saying, my book is out for pre-order. You can pre-order it and have all the information there, right? But there's another thing I want to do with this, right? Because I'm going to have a video, which we'll get to in a minute. That's the next thing. But I want to have a video out that kind of talks more about the book, that goes over everything, gives a little bit more detail about what the book's about, what the world is, what the characters are, right? Some more information like that for readers to consider. Do you want to read my book, right? And also just for any of, I guess, you people that might want to read it. I don't want people to just order my book because I'm a YouTuber, right? I want them to order my book because they're oh, that actually sounds interesting and I'd enjoy it. But I also don't want people to pre-order it if I don't know. But so what I want to do, I want to set up a newsletter cookie, right? So something you get if you subscribe to my newsletter, and also a way that people can I don't want to say vet my book, but try my book out a little bit before they buy it or pre-order it. So I want to put the first 2 chapters as a if you sign up for my newsletter, my author newsletter, you can read the first 2 chapters. So I need to set that up and I need to finalize the first 2 chapters. You guys. I just got the email that my book is available for pre-order in the Kindle store. Oh my god! Sorry, I thought it would take a while. I thought I'd have some time to... Okay. Sorry, this has taken a very weird turn. Okay, so in theory, my book's up for pre-order, and it sent me a link. Ah! Oh my god! Can you see that? Is that like... That's my book. On Amazon. Right there. Look at her. Oh my god. Okay, I'm sending it to my husband. He actually, when I submitted the book for pre-order, he came up and like put his arms around me while I clicked the button, and I was like, ah. I didn't think it would be that fast. Okay, I did like 20 minutes afterwards. I did check just because I was like, what if it's already up and it's like basically automatic and they just say 72 hours. Holy crap. People can order my book now. I'm freaking out. Okay, so we're gonna go set up my Amazon Central thing. We're gonna see what it lets me do now in the thing, because also I have Amazon A+ content that I want to set up, which is like all the pretty little graphics at the bottom, if it lets me do that now. But I have things that I need to do. What were we talking about? The cookies, right? I need to finalize the first 2 chapters, which is going to be about 10,000 words. And I want to just make sure they're good. Like I still need to do more rounds of copy edits, right? Like I've done the initial stuff, anything that's going to change the word count, but I haven't gone through all the full copy edits. And there's a few changes that I want to make because I've been, like the last month, I've been prepping for book 2, expanding some of the world building, expanding some of the like details that I need for that I've made notes of things that I want to like lightly weave into book 1. Mostly it's like light stuff, like I'm changing the exact dominant weapon that is used for like fighting against the beasts. Also, I'm naming the beasts now, which I realized it just feels too YA dystopian to have them be called the beast with a capital B. Like that's weird. So I've named them. They are going to be, what is it? A single beast is going to be a Dakya, D-A-K-Y-A, because everything is very like, I have like a Slavic inspired naming language I've created for it. So there'll be a Dakya, or multiple would be called Daki, D-A-K-I-I. So I need to make those changes in the first 2 chapters to make sure it's going to be consistent with the rest of the book, which sort of means I'm locking all of those things in. But yeah, so I need to finish that and get that ready and set it up. I'm going to use BookFunnel, and then people can like just send it to their Kindle or whatever they want to do. And I'm going to also need to script and prep the video to share that the pre-order's out, right? So I need to do that. I need to finish updating the website. I need to set up the newsletter. I'm going to need to update my video outros. The video's going to need to go live. And then also I'm going to need to do like social media posts, which my sister is helping me with, which is good. But yeah, okay. So before we get into any of that, because I was going to finish editing the first 2 chapters, I've already through 1.5 of them. Let's see what's going on in my KDP dashboard. Okay, I see it in the dashboard. I'm afraid to click anything. I don't remember what I need to do to set up the A+ content, but I know I need to set up an author page, which I think I want to create a separate, like an Amazon account for this, but it should be like an Amazon Central account. Okay, Amazon Author Central. I don't know what I'm signed in as. Let me sign out and then sign back in. This one. Continue. Okay, so now I know I'm signed into the right account. So then I need to search the title, ISBN, or author, which I think ISBN would be ASIN. So let me copy that from my dashboard. Enter that. I see it. It's here. Okay, wait. Let me show you. Hold on. Look, it's my book. So I can click it. Yes. Okay. I didn't really think about this super well in advance, but I think I have everything I need to do this. Wow. Okay, edit profile. We'll start there. We'll start with adding a photo, which will use my like basic photo that I use for everything right now, the one that's the same one on my YouTube channel, which eventually I'll get like an author photo, but I feel like this is one of my nicer photos, so we'll go with that. Zoom in a little. Oh, we're so cute. We got the little like dagger earrings in it. Publish. Okay. Very nice. Create an easy to share link to your author page. Yeah, we'll create a link. Let's see. 1 to 30 characters, no spaces, can contain dashes. Let's actually real quick, let's go to Amazon. Let's look at Sarah J. Maas. We'll see what Sarah J. Maas does. Sarah-J-Maas. Okay. So Madeline-James. Submit. Okay. Ah, something went wrong. What? Why is this not working? All right, we'll try that again later. I don't know why that didn't work. Okay, let's add a bio in English. And we can just copy this from my About Me on my website. Copy. I feel like I don't want it to be overly, like have the same kind of like constant, like things I want to update often. So like on my website, I list like things I'm into right now. Like my current obsessions, which are like K-pop Demon Hunters, playing Wingspan at Everdell, rewatching Alchemy of Souls, right? Yeah, cool, that's good. And I feel like normally people say something like where they live and like who they live with. So I could say something like that. She lives on the East Coast with her endlessly supportive husband and 2 wonderful children. Boom. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Preview bio. Sure, we'll go with that. It could take up to 24 hours to appear in your author page. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Photos and videos are not displayed on author pages, so I'm not going to bother adding them. They don't display blog feeds, but I wonder if I can still create an author page URL. Submit. Nope, okay, it's not working. I don't know. We'll go back to that. So we have my profile set up. We have my books. I don't really know what else I can do here. We have my profile. We have loading books, loading books, loading books, loading books, loading books, loading books, loading books. Why is this so slow? Oh my gosh, my husband pre-ordered my book. Oh wow. This is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna like wait for this to load and see if there's anything else I can do in here. But then I'm gonna rewatch the end of the Amazon A+ content at the beginning for Publish and Thrive and figure out how I need, like what I need to do in the KDP dashboard to add those files, because I've already made them. I just need to add them, so we'll work on that. Okay, so setting up the A+ content did not really work. Ooh, okay. Few updates. Setting up A+ content did not really work because I don't know, it wouldn't accept the files. Like, I mean, I created these in Canva at the exact like dimensions I wanted. I made them 600 by 600 for like just to start for the little like those guys. And I also exported a 300 by 300 pixel version, and it says that they're over 900 and something, so they can't be uploaded, which makes absolutely no sense. So I'm very confused at why it won't accept those, but I don't have all of them ready yet anyway, because I'm still waiting for a author quote from one of my indie author friends that I'm gonna put in one of those little graphics. So I'm just gonna wait to set those up, but my Amazon central thing should be set up. It's not linking yet in Amazon, so I'm assuming it just needs to think for a while, which is fine. But I just logged back into Ingram Sparks because I was like, oh, maybe something changed. And I got a message that says, almost there. We're still processing your account and will need to finish before you complete the setup of your first title. This could take 3 to 5 business days, so please check back soon. So they finally put that update out, which tells me what's happening and that I have to wait 3 to 5 business days. I hope it's only 3 because or less, because I had hoped to have these out at the same time before I put my video out, and I want my video to come out mid to early next week. That's important to me. So if it takes 3 to 5 business days and I can immediately set up the title and it shows up fairly immediately on like Amazon and Barnes & Noble and stuff, then I'll be good. But if it takes longer, I might just have to put out the video and be like, print coming soon, whatever, right? So I don't know. So we're still waiting for that, sadly. Which I don't know when it'll tell me. It's very sad. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna get all of this stuff closed, and then I'm gonna pull up Scrivener, and I'm gonna work on the second chapter, and then I'm gonna start finishing the script for for the video, and then, yes. Okay, I looked up my ISBN on Goodreads, and I can see my book on Goodreads, which is very exciting. I'm gonna copy that link and write it down. Goodreads. Another link. Whoa. So now I need to claim this. I'm trying to go through my steps. Search for any books and click your author name. Boom. Ooh. Okay, is this you? Let us know. Click. Okay. Choose the way you're publishing your books. Link to your publisher, agent, or retailer book page website. I'm not really sure what that means. Okay, I submitted my application to claim the book on Goodreads, which I assume will take some time to do. This won't be right away. It says we will send you an email when you're approved within 2 business days. So we'll see. We'll see. That might be set up by next week, and if so, I can link like my Goodreads stuff, which is crazy. I don't know. But okay, anyway, I've started making a little like checklist thing, which I'll show you in a minute, to just claim everything that I need to do so I can cross off. Let me get a different color. We'll go with this like pinky purple. But I have everything here that I can check off. So let me go through and do this real quick. Okay, so this is what I have right now. So I have started the setup of my Ingram account, so I can cross that off. But it's not like approved, so like I can't do anything here. So I'll just like put a dot. I don't know. So I can't set that up. I did set up my KDP ebook pre-order, and that is live, so I can cross that off. I have claimed my Goodreads page. It's not approved yet. And I've claimed my Amazon one, which isn't approved yet either. I'll need to claim like Barnes & Noble and all that stuff too. So I could start this, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm still need to working on finalizing chapter 1 and 2 and scripting the video. So this kind of gives me like down each path. I can figure out what I need to work on now. Like I'm waiting to be able to set up the print pre-order. I'm working on finalizing chapter 1 and 2, and I'm working on scripting the video that I want to put out. And obviously some of this stuff I could go through and do, but like I don't need to do it now, so I should work on these things first. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so excuse the bad lighting, but I wanted to give an update. It is Monday. Yeah, Monday now, Labor Day actually. And I spent a decent bit of time this weekend going through the first chapter again after my husband's comments, and I have a friend now reading through it who has never read the book again, so I wanted to kind of get her like first exposure thoughts, like not knowing anything else in the book as a fresh reader. What do they think, right? So that's cool. I've also been going back in my head on a lot of like things and choices that I need to make, and for the most part I'm going to keep pushing them off, but like, do I want to do a physical pre-order campaign or digital only? Do I want to try and do a mix? Like, it's complicated. I have some ideas and some thoughts, but I'm just not sure yet. I'm also like playing around with the first couple lines of the book again because I'm like, they need to be great. I've also considered whether or not I want to do a voice recording of me reading the first 2 chapters and have that be available to newsletter subscribers too. Like, I won't have the audiobook out right away, so like people who'd prefer to listen to in an audio won't really have that option, so I'm not sure if that would actually be that good of an idea. But it could be fun as sort of like a test how complicated it could be, but I'm not sure. The ebook pre-order is still out. I still haven't been able to get into Ingram Sparks to set up the paperback. My Goodreads author profile thing has been claimed, so that's good. I have like a little profile there now. I can see my book is attached to it. What else have I done? I set up Genius links, so basically the links on my website and that I share for the book are going to take you to like the right Amazon page. So I tested this out with some of the people in my Discord, and I was essentially like, okay, I know y'all are in a ton of different countries. Click this link and tell me if it takes you directly to like the correct Amazon storefront for your country, right? And so that worked. So I'll have that. And yeah, I'm just right now, my big thing is I need to finish this pass again, and then my husband's going to read through it again just to see if any last things stand out to him. And then I need to work on the video and edit it and just make sure that's all in there. And then I think that's it. And then obviously once the pre-order for the paperback is set up, which I'm also considering not even making it available on Amazon. I was talking to my indie friend and like, I don't know, there could be some shenanigans with trying to swap out who is doing the Amazon pre-order through, especially because I can't set up the Amazon one first, right? So like normally you can set up the Amazon one 90 days in advance, and then like the Ingram one could just like be there until, I don't know, there's complicated bits of this for trying to get it all to line up, and I feel like the simplest thing might be to just not have it available through Amazon, but I'm not sure if that means it's still going to be available for all, like, if people around the world will still be able to order it. I don't know. I'm not sure. There's so many things to consider. So many not perfect choices and 0 perfect choices. So I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to hang in there, but yeah, I'm going to work on editing this some more, and hopefully we can get all this done today. Okay, so it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. My video is live now that talks about my book, which is nerve-wracking. My newsletter has gone out, which shares the ability to get access to the first 2 chapters, and I set everything up, and everything like these tools are set up in a way where you can kind of track how much people are accessing them, which is kind of nerve-wracking because I've been like going into MailerLite being like, okay, how many people have actually opened email? How many people have clicked on links? Like what's happening? People need to look at it. And then I've been going over to Genius links to see there who's clicking on the links, because I also like shared it in the description of the video and on my website, and like, you know, maybe they didn't just access it through my email. And then I've been going over to BookFunnel and like, who's downloaded, you know, my book sample, and it's a problem. And I need to step back and stop looking at it because I'm like obsessing over it a little bit. And my whole point in doing the pre-order like this 7 months early, right, is because I wanted to have the time to kind of do a slow build kind of thing. I wanted to be able to not obsess over and not be like, oh my God, I have to do everything and I have to do it now, or it's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to have that stress. So I should not be stressing about this right now, right? Like, I've sent my, you know, information out on the newsletter, which doesn't have that many subscribers. Like, I think I have like 140 something subscribers, which I mean is great, right? But like, I have not been working on growing that very much. And also, like, I don't expect that many people on my channel to necessarily be like, this is the type of books I want to read and be interested in going down that route, right? Like, I don't have those expectations. That's sort of what the point of like building my Instagram up for readers that would read my book over the next 7 months is 4. That's like what I'm working with my sister to do. So that is not something I need to stress about right now. Like, a few people have downloaded the sneak peek. I worked so hard this weekend on getting it ready, and I'm really proud of it. And I had a few moments where I'm like, this is horrible. This is awful. Everyone's gonna hate it. People are gonna read this and be like, ew, no, I never want to read this book, and then never read it. But I'm really proud of it now. I'm really happy with it. I've gotten some good feedback from some like fresh readers that have never knew anything about the book, and they thought it was like a great intro. So like, I just need to calm down and stop obsessing over it. I'm sure like, over the next course of the week, I'll probably calm down. Well, probably not until the paperback pre-order is up, because like there's that level of like, I'm not done until I can do that. And then I'll have another email out, probably like mid-month, being like, okay, the paperback pre-order is up, and don't forget you can download the sneak peek, right? And now anyone who signs up for my newsletter will get that email with the sneak peek thing. So I'm excited. I'm trying not to like, I don't know. Part of me is like, I should make 18 reels all about this and get them scheduled. But I don't know how to make a reel. I'm leaving that to my sister. I don't know how to do it. She'll do it at her own pace when she wants to, when she thinks it makes sense. And I'm not going to obsess over it. Repeat after me. No obsessing. Yes. So that's where we are right now. I'm sort of done for now of what I can do. I'm sure, again, there's like tons of little stuff I can do. I do need to, there is stuff I need to do, but it's not like emergency stuff that I need to do right now. So I'm going to take a little break, and I'm going to start doing some work on book 2, which is very important. Very important to, be working on book 2. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do festival prep for this weekend. And I don't know if I'll like, maybe this will be the end of the video and I'll be like, okay, it's gonna take too long to get, the paperback pre-order out. I can't wait for it. Or maybe it'll go live soon and I'll keep working on this until that's out, because that is kind of the setting up the pre-order journey, right? Includes that. Which, if you're curious, it is. So it's Tuesday. Ingram says within 3 to 5 days, my account should be set up, but it's at business days. So worst case, if they're counting Monday not as a business day, I don't know if they're US based, probably, then Monday was Labor Day, so that would not be a business day. And I set it up on Friday. So like today would just technically be day 1. Like, it's been 1 day. So day 3 would be, let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow would be 2 days. Thursday would be 3 days. Friday would be 4 days. So between Thursday and Monday, next Monday, hopefully they will have my account set up, or next week I will be justified in emailing them about it. Although I hear that their customer service is not the most prompt for indie authors. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it comes up sometime this week, and then I can get it set up this week. Because if I can get it set up this week, then hopefully it all like, trickles through and does all the stuff it needs to do over the weekend and early next week. And then sometime next week I could be like, hey, paperbacks. I still haven't decided though. It is, if you don't know much about indie publishing, the process of pre-orders is unnecessarily complicated. And the process of like ISBNs and like all that stuff, it's a lot. So when I put my book on on Amazon, right? I will want to have the paperback long term, right? I will want to have that distributed and like printed through Amazon. So using KDP, because that will give me the best royalty rate on paperbacks sold through Amazon, which is obviously where most of my paperbacks are going to be sold. The problem with that is they only have a 90-day pre-order period, which if my book's coming out April 9th, that's January, February, March, April. Yeah, so sometime in the beginning of January, I'd be able to set up the Amazon paperback pre-order. However, I can also have the pre-order set up for paperbacks through Ingram Sparks a year in advance, right? So I can set that up now, assuming once my account is set up. However, right, I can have that distributed to Amazon. So what I've seen one person or a few people on the internet do is they set up an Ingram pre-order, like however far in advance they're going to do it. And then once like people can pre-order on Amazon and it will be distributed by Ingram or printed by Ingram. And then once the book comes out, they switch it to KDP so that all those Ingram pre-orders still go through, but then all new orders go through Amazon. And there's complicated ways to do this depending on timing, but part of the problem is if you want one listing, I think it has to be one ISBN. And you can't have multiple sites do that. So like typically the only way to have that not have a problem is if you set up your Amazon paperback listing first with your ISBN and then set it up through Ingram. And then it'll be like, oh, it's already taken there. I won't try and set it up there. So like there may end up, like if I do that, there may end up being like multiple paperback listings where one says like it's not in stock. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. So something I'm considering doing, I'm not sure yet, is having the Ingram pre-order only available everywhere but Amazon, right? And so you wouldn't be able to pre-order on Amazon until 90 days in advance, which I think would be fine. And also I'm not too concerned if they have different ISBNs, although I think it would mean that, would it show up different on Goodreads? I don't know. I think it would be fine to do that. And then it would just be like, I use one ISBN on Amazon and you can't buy the paperback on Amazon until January, but you could buy it everywhere else now, which honestly, I will make, based off the calculators I've used, like 3 to 4 times, probably closer to 3 times more money if you buy the paperback literally anywhere but Amazon. So like all the people that are buying now, right, are basically people that already support me, and like I'd rather them buy it somewhere that's like I think they'd be more willing to do that, right? Whereas I feel like once we start getting closer and it's like potentially random people buying my paperback and they want to buy it where they're used to buying it, then maybe, you know, I don't know. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards right now, which would then save me the issues of like having things totally messed up on Amazon, which I don't really want to deal with. So we'll see. But either way, I should have the paperback set up everywhere else, and it should be available pretty internationally. Like most places have bookstores and stuff that Ingram distributes to that it'll be available for automatically. I do know that Chapters, which is in Canada, won't automatically pull the Ingram listing. So like I'll have to email them, but I have a friend who's given me the contact information to do that, where once my pre-order is set up, I can reach out and be like, hey, my book's available through Ingram. Can you please add the, listing for the paperback on Chapters so that my friends in Canada can buy the book. So I'll probably be reaching out to my like random Discord peoples to be like, hey, like for those of you in different countries, like let me know what the main places you would order a paperback from and if it's being distributed to and if all that's set up. And I'll try and have everything set up nicely and neatly, but in theory that should work out. And even if you're not in the US, you should be able to get the paperback. I believe that's my understanding. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna work on some other stuff. Look at some book 2 brainstorming. Just do something that's not this or the festival prep. Like I need a palette cleanser. So yeah. Okay, a little bit of a weird placement. I'll show you what I'm doing in a second. But update for you. It's Tuesday now. I wanted to film this earlier, but for reasons you'll soon understand, I couldn't. So this weekend was the World Building Festival over on my World Building channel, and across a bunch of other world building creators on YouTube. So obviously I was extremely busy all weekend, and I was actually in the opening stream on Friday. On Friday, I was in the opening stream. I had 5 other world builders on stream with me. And, we had like some 100 or something people watching live. And I get the email that my Ingram account was approved to put out. Because of course it would happen then. Of course. Let me put this lighting thing. Can I make this a little brighter? Whoa. Okay, maybe that's better. So yeah, I got that. So Friday night, after all the streams were over, I was looking in the Ingram account and I had a moment of panic because basically the way things work with Ingram is in order to put the pre-order out, you have to put files in. You have to put in a cover file and you have to put in a the interior content file, right? Which when you're doing a pre-order 7 months in advance, you don't have those things, right? Like, you don't have those things. And I had assumed that they would have it figured out where like I could just give the cover, like the temporary cover and like, you know, a deadline for when I had to submit the interior files by. No, no. And I've heard that essentially when you put those files in, like you are essentially consenting to or agreeing that they could start printing and storing those books at any point in time. Usually it happens like a week to 10 days in advance from what I can see, but there have been a few authors that have been screwed over when they started printing their books like a month in advance and they didn't have the final files in, so they got the wrong contents in the book, which is insane. But basically, it's a little bit of a risk to play around with. And I don't know if this is partially why like in TradPub, they do things so far out in advance, so they have these final files, but I considered briefly being like, okay, maybe I just can't do, you know, maybe I just can't do a paperback pre-order through Ingram. Maybe that's just not something I can do until my stuff is finalized, which like I don't want to do. I want to get that out there. So I decided that I'm gonna risk it. And I should be able to have the like interior book contents done. Like those should be finalized months in advance, so I should like as soon as I get those out, I'll put them out there. I'll keep it updated so that, and like again, they're only going to print that early if like you have a ton of pre-orders, which like I don't expect to have. I'm sure I'll have some, right? But like I'm not going to have like enough that they need to start printing early. So as long as I have those interior contents in there and updated a couple months in advance, that'll be good. The issue is going to come with the map, which I did. Have I gotten the final contract? I haven't gotten the final contract signed. We've still been going back and forth on stuff, trying to get everything figured out for what to do for the maps. But I don't think I'll have the final versions out until like a month in advance. So technically that'll meet the deadline, right? But like it is in slightly risky territory where if they did start printing a month in advance, there's a chance I wouldn't have finished updating the maps. I don't know. But I will have early versions of all the maps for ARC readers. So those will be out a couple months in advance and that'll be in the file I have in there. So like if they were to print super duper crazy early and I don't get the maps until like a little later than expected, like the final ones, then like, yes, some of the pre-orders might get less like finished map versions. Like they'd still be mostly done. They'd just probably miss some of the decoration. So what I will probably do is in that case, I will probably try to get those people to reach out to me and show me like send me a picture of your book with the maps and I will send you like a signed printed version of the maps or something like that. The final ones once they come out, right? Like I'll do something like that to make up for it if it happens. I think statistically it's very, very unlikely that that'll happen, but I want to be aware of the potential problems that could happen. And, you know, this is something good for me to be aware of and keep in mind for scheduling and planning things in the future. Like, okay, like if I want to do a pre-order for that, maybe I need to have every single thing completely finalized like 2 months in advance or something crazy. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But yeah, I made like a dummy. I basically took my final cover file from my cover designer and I stuck it in Canva and then I just stuck the like temporary cover like right on top of the front of it, and then like she had sent me the individual layer files, so like I just stuck the background of it on the back of it and left the spine the same, and I'm like, this is my cover, right? And like the version I put in also has like pictures I took of maps that I drew, and that's what I put in there just to kind of hold like a placeholder as I was playing with the formatting. So that was in the file that I put in there, and they're like, oh yes, this is not the right size, we're gonna have to manually whatever. And I'm like, I don't care, you better not print any of this, like I'm gonna put new files in like many times. So yeah, so I did that on Friday night, and now I have to wait another 3 to 5 days for them to generate a like a interior sample of what it'll look like printed, and then I have to approve that before I can get like allowed to start setting up distribution, which is crazy. Also pricing was, oh my gosh, insane. Like I feel like I need a 24-hour course on just Ingram because it's insane. Like, so my book is chunky, right? I'm estimating it to be 610 pages, which is a lot. Not a ton for like more epic style fantasy, right? But like it is a chunky book. And even as a paperback, it's expensive to print. It's like 10 something, 1060, I think, to print is their estimate right now. And so what happens is when you do print, the way it works is you set your sale price, right? So this is how much the book will sell for at vendors. But all the vendors, in order for them to stock it and for them to sell it, right, they make a cut, right? And then also Ingram makes a cut because it's business, right? So you pay for the print costs, and then you pay an amount that goes to Ingram, and then that goes to whoever's selling the book, and then you have your cut, right? And so typically you can set that discount, right? What people can buy it at, right? So if you have a $10 book and your discount is 50%, they can buy it for $5, and then that extra $5 is, their profit, right? And I think it gets like there's a certain percentage of it that like actually goes to Ingram and a percentage that goes to the seller, I think. But so like maybe it's if you have a $10 book, right? Maybe it costs $4 to print, right? You give them a 50% discount. There might actually be 10% of that discount is for Ingram. So then you print it. It costs $4 to print. Maybe $1 goes to Ingram, and then the I guess no, it's got to be like in addition the wholesale price. I don't know, but maybe you give a 50% discount. Maybe Ingram also takes $1, just like, or maybe it's worked into their printing costs. I don't know how it works, but they both get their cuts, and then you get what's left. And in order to have stores be willing to put your book in a bookstore, you need to have, at least in America, right? You need to have the 55% wholesale discount, and you need to allow returns. And there's so many problems with this. It's so rough for indies, like if you're not familiar with how the system works, because essentially you barely make any money from these in the first place. And if you allow returns, what happens is if like a store, say they buy 100 copies of your book, right? And they only sell 20, they're going to return the other 80, and they're not going to want to stock your book if they can't return it, if they don't sell it, right? So then what happens when they return the book, right, is you are backing the returns as the author. Ingram is not backing those returns. You're backing those returns. So if like it's a $10 book and they do like a 50% wholesale discount, right? So they spend $5 for it, right? Which you only make like maybe $1 or 20 cents or something, right? This is just random numbers, right? But if they then return that book, you are responsible for paying back the rest of that $5. And if you want it shipped to you, which it probably won't be in great shape, but if you have it shipped back to you, then you also have to pay for shipping. So like at that rate, say you get 50 cents, right? If someone buys 100 books and you get 50 cents per book, that's $50, right? But then if they say they return 50 of the books, 50 times 5 is $250. So you have to pay $250 when you only made $50. It's insane. And this is why a lot of people like won't do this. So there's kind of, from what I can understand, a couple of different approaches. If you were going to put like a lot of focus into getting your book in in-person bookstores, and that's super important to you, you put it at the 55% wholesale cost, you're not making a lot of money for it, and you enable returns, probably destroy, so you don't have to pay for shipping to get books that you probably can't resell anyway. And then you have to hope that you sell enough books to cover any returns. And when you're making this money, you just have to let it sit for a while, because I think the returns can be like 90 days or something. I don't know. But like you basically have to just have all that money sitting to then be able to pay back the returns if you want your book in a bookstore, right? And again, just because you do all this and you accept all these risks doesn't mean that they're going to like actually put your book in a bookstore, right? So like even online sales, it's this, you're giving them that same discount. If people just go onto like Barnes & Noble website and buy it, right? You're still only getting that small amount, even though they're not even like giving you shelf space for it. And it's crazy, and you can't make limits on like how many returns or how many things people can buy. Like you can't accept, like you have no control over the risk. You're just accepting all risk. So like say your book goes like viral on TikTok before it goes out in a ton of bookstores, order your book to stock it. But then it comes out and people are like, oh no, this is actually bad. And then they cancel it, right? And everyone's like, oh my God, this book's so bad. And then no one buys your book. You have to pay back all that money and you could literally go broke because of that, right? Like it's insane. Yeah. So what I decided to do is I think it will be better for me from a career perspective in selling books to be able to price my book more reasonably and to offer smaller discounts and not really have the chance of my book being in stores. Because realistically, is my book going to be in that many stores? No, probably only ones I reach out to. And they will be able to buy it, like if people request it potentially, right? But they're probably not going to want to because they're not going to make enough money off of it because my wholesale discount is the minimum, and like, which I think for some places varies from 40 to 30% discount. But it allows me to price the book more reasonably. So I think right now it's going to be like, I don't remember what I set it to. I had to calculate it out, but like I'm going to make, I think $1.50 per book in the US market. And it's different for every market. They have different requirements for like wholesale percentages, different requirements for, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I tried to set it up so that I would make more than 5 cents per book sold, because at that point, like, what am I even doing with my life, you know? So yeah, it's probably not going to be stocked in bookstores. I can always change this. So like if the book starts doing okay, then maybe when the second book comes out, I'll switch it to be a better wholesale price or something and try and do a push to get people to put it in bookstores if I feel like that's worth it. And then I can always, like, once the return periods are over, I can switch the settings back, you know what I mean? Or switch it for the next book or something. Like I can play around with it and figure it out, but that's the like identity crisis I had, because for some reason I didn't think it would be a risk for like, I don't know what I thought, but I thought if they put it in bookstores, that would be one thing. But if they just listed it on their website, it would have different rules and like, but it's not true. And like, if I wanted to list it for a wholesale discount, or yeah, for the max wholesale discount so people could put it in bookstores, I think in order for me to make like 50 cents per book, I had to price my paperback at like $25 or $26 or something like that. Like, it's insane, right? Because like if you have like a $25 book and it's $10 to make it at least 15, but they're getting 55% off of $25, that's like, I don't know, another $12 off. So at that point you're at like, whatever it is, $10.60 plus $12. Like there's only a couple dollars left, right? Like, and it goes other places. Like it's insane. Who does this? Right? So I don't know, but I decided to do it. So we're still waiting. It's Tuesday now because again, I've been recovering from the festival, which I should probably check my email and see if I've heard back about it. I don't think I have. No, I don't see it. But yeah, I'm just waiting for that to be approved. And then once it's approved, I can go in and try to set up distribution. And I'm just hoping that even though I have minimum things, people are still going to actually like list it online, because that's going to be the best way for people to get, you know, the paperback. Because I'm not going to set up the Amazon pre-order until 90 days in advance, I think. So yeah, that's the update. That's the update. Yeah, don't ever return an indie book to a bookstore if you can, because then the author's paying for it. Just donate it to a library or something, please. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, I'll check in again once I have, oh wait, I was gonna show you what I'm doing. Anyway, I will check in once I have all of that. But let me pull over. I'm setting up my new desk, which is so fun. I still have to finish setting it up so that it actually like looks nice behind me. I'll still probably film my main videos like in my big chair over there, where I'll do like a lot of my like paperwork. So I'll still film there with that background, but I need to figure out how to like make this better for now. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I'll check in later. Okay, so it is Monday morning and I actually have some exciting news So some of the paperback pre-orders are up now, which is crazy. They're not all the way done, but they're sort of done. So I have the Barnes & Noble one, which I can send you. I'll put a screenshot up or something. But you can see for the pre-order, like there's a little like side thing that doesn't look great that I might want to fix. But on Barnes & Noble, it shows the book, but it does not show any review, or not review, any description for it. So I'm not entirely sure what to do about that. But it's up there. So yeah, it's up here. I might need to tweak the cover. I looked it up and apparently it can take Ingram months to get all the correct information over, but something that could help is if I update one of the files or change anything, it'll send an update and maybe then it will all go through, which is kind of annoying, but maybe I can do that and try and fix the cover a little bit more, which could help. But so that's up there. It's on Barnes & Noble. And then if I go to the Amazon listing, which I'll put a thing up here too, I can click on the paperback. Now, for the paperback, there's no cover. The description's there, but there's no cover, which is great. Absolutely great. Yeah, and I still haven't been able to get my author photo up on Amazon. I don't know why. When I go into my Author Central profile, I see it there, so I'm not sure what's up, but I'm probably gonna go in and try and like change it again, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna try to email someone. But that's up. My website has the paperback links on it, and I'm waiting to see where else it becomes available, because if I go onto Barnes & Noble, my ISBN is there, and I can like Google search for my ISBN, and so something comes up for Google Books, which is, it has the description but not the cover or anything else about it, so I'm a little confused by that. Yeah, I don't see it coming up. It's kind of hard to, I don't know, it's kind of hard to find where things are. I didn't think it would be, but I mean, I guess the internet works by showing you popular things, and like, this is the thing that's just getting set up that no one searched for or Googled, so it's not gonna be like easy to find. So I kind of need to, I guess, know the places to search, which I kind of don't. Isn't Waterstones, is that the big UK one? I wonder if I could search for it there. Let's see. All right, because I feel like Waterstones would be a cool place to get it into, but I don't know if that works. Does Ingram put book in Waterstones? I don't know if they have to decide if they want to add it on there. You'd have to contact them and ask them to put it up there. Oh, but this is saying it should be listed on their online catalog. Okay, so it should show up there eventually, right? Like, all of these places might take a while, which, like, I'm glad I'm doing this pre-order so early, because can you imagine, like, I mean, I guess when you'd set it up in advance to not have a pre-order but to go live, like, maybe you do it early enough that everything has time to, like, move its way through, but I can see why people do pre-orders. Like, this is a pain in the butt to get it all out everywhere. And you kind of have to do it in advance. Like, even if you're not trying to get pre-orders, if you want everything up and correct in time, it kind of seems like you have to do this, which is great. But yeah, so I'm just trying to, I know the Canada one, I have to ask them to add it to their online store so that they can order it, because we have, in my writing group, we have someone that's in Canada, and so the other person in my writing group that's already indie published has to email to get it put there so that she can order the book. So that's kind of exciting. But yeah, I'm gonna, I don't know, it's kind of crazy, but I think people can order my paperback now. None of the listings are correct or like finished though, which is so annoying. But I think what I'm gonna do this morning is I'm going to email my friend about it, and then I'm gonna try and update that cover file and like re-push that and see if that'll like help things proliferate faster. I'm not sure. But it may just have to be something that I have to watch for a while, and every month it'll be like, oh, these new places are available now, and try and get them all listed. But yeah, it's kind of annoying. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I have right now. Is this gonna be, no, this won't be quite the end. This will be almost the end of this vlog. Almost. Okay, this is actually mildly scary. So I went to do a new file upload, and this is the same place where you print interior or cover. And it says that your book will be taken down for availability while it's being processed, which is interesting. So I don't know if that's actually gonna happen, if it's gonna disappear and then come back, or if it'll just say out of stock. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, which this will be good to know because more people will be looking at it when I do the cover reveal, which is, the timing of everything is crazy. But yeah, it says that it'll wait to process it until after orders are fulfilled that have already been done, but it's in the pre-order stage, so I'm not sure how that will work. So I'm just gonna hit continue. Hope this works. I know there's gonna be content file issues, but it's the same content file, so I hope it doesn't make me do that whole super long verification process again. Because I know there's bad stuff in there, like I'm very aware it's not the final version. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll put this through, see what happens, and it'll hopefully look better on sites. Maybe it'll go through better. Maybe this is gonna slow things down. I don't know, but fingers crossed. Okay, sorry, one more quick update before I go upstairs and get to outlining. But I wanted to check how my links are working. So on Genius Links, I'm at 105 lifetime clicks, 21 countries, which is really awesome. It looks like a big peak was September 2nd, which I think was when I sent out my my email about it. But it's very cool. And if I go in and look at my actual links, they're almost all the, let's see, it looks like 28 are Goodreads, 33 are straight to Amazon, and 45 are the choice one, which is mostly Amazon, but now it has the Barnes & Noble one too. So that's very exciting. I like that. And then on my subscribers are a little higher now too. So that's gone up because people have to subscribe in order to get the first, the first 2 chapters of the book. So let me look at, let's see, groups. Is it groups? Yes, we're at 166 subscribers for my book newsletter, which is exciting. That's cool. Open rate is 53%, which is pretty good. I'm happy. And then I guess the last thing I wanted to check was BookFunnel. I want to log into BookFunnel real quick and just see how it's going. You know what I mean? Okay, so we have 17 downloads in the last 30 days. That's exciting. Oh, that's exciting. Okay. And obviously I don't know if all 17 people have finished reading it or not. I mean, it's only 2 chapters, so it's not like it's that hard, but I find that very exciting. And hopefully when I send out the next email, that'll get bigger. And it should continue to grow with my channels and as things get set up, because we're still ramping up the marketing stuff for my Instagram for sharing about my books, because I think I'm at, I've hit 900 followers now, which is cool. And mostly my posts have been hovering in the 280 to 340 range in terms of views or impressions. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Yeah, I haven't had anything super crazy exciting out there, but I don't know. I'm excited. It's coming along, and again, we're doing the slow growth. We're slow burning this. But yeah, it's, I don't know. There's so many things to learn. There's so many things that could go wrong, and I feel like every indie author that I talk to has learned a lot of hard lessons and has become jaded in certain areas. Not in a bad way, but just in a well, this is never going to work because it has all these risks, so I'm not going to do it. And so I'm going to have to gather my versions of that, right? Maybe Ingram's going to go horrible. Maybe I'm going to decide paperback pre-orders aren't worth it. I don't know. But yeah, it's coming along. We're making progress. Who is mowing outside? That is so loud. But yeah, that's all I have for right now. I think that's where I'm gonna end this vlog, if you can even hear me. But yeah, I have set up my pre-orders now, and now I just have to do all the stuff with like making sure they're actually set up properly. I'll send another email out. I don't know. At this point, depending on how long it takes to get set up, I might wait until next month. I'm not sure. Or I might send out the email now for people to pre-order, because it's halfway through the month and you can pull up those sites and it's going to take 3 to 5 days for them to get approved for me. So they'd look at it now versus later, which I think would be okay. I don't know. Yeah, so that's where we are right now. So I don't know. I'm excited. It's scary. Yeah, I will see you in the next one.